Welcome to Mind, Elevation, Health, and Wealth. I'm your host, Shyra DeJuan, an educator, emotional healer, and entrepreneur. This session is not a traditional session. This session is specifically dedicated to my listeners, my champions for life changes and elevation. Session 9. Thank you, listeners. If this is your first time listening to Mind, Elevation, Health, and Wealth podcast, welcome. You are listening with a purpose. You are also here because you are ready to embrace all those thoughts about your future success, the thoughts that keep popping into your brain about an invention, a business idea, an investment opportunity, or any life goal that you've had on your mind. You are here to manifest it. We are learning to grow together in this space. The universe is moving in your favor, so get comfortable. I suggest every new listener start with downloading Session 1 podcast and working your way up to Session 8. To my dedicated champions, it has been a beautiful and fun experience starting my podcast with you. I must admit, I didn't realize how fast my voice could travel around the world until I learned how to look at the statistics of locations listened. I also received an Instagram message from a dedicated listener, and she lives in Turkey. I felt so honored, like, wow, the Turkish are listening. While the United States has the most downloads, I have several downloads in Canada, Germany, Australia, South Africa, India, Italy, the UK, Israel, France, Portugal, and of course, Turkey. That's 12 countries. So I'm grateful and thankful for every listener in every country. We are celebrating the wins, champions. I also want to give a special thanks to my student listeners at Fur High School in Houston, Texas. Walking down the hall and hearing a young man student shout out to me, "Fipes!" after listening to a session 6, the 5 values of healthy relationships. Then later, able to meet with this 17-year-old young man and have a healing conversation related to Fipes and values in relationship. I'll use his initials. CJ, if you're listening, with your creativity and extreme knowledge, you are destined for greatness. I admire your persistence and spiritual strength. My other student working on his own YouTube channel asked to do my first interview with him to promote my podcast. I'll use his initials. WP, if you're listening, keep grinding as a content creator. You are extremely talented. I admire your growth. And also, my other student, I'll use his initials, JG, with his Mamba mentality, encouraged me to do session 7 after an extremely healing conversation. Young man, your mentality, your determination, and your drive continues to elevate your athletic ability to the highest heights. I admire your passion and your resilience. To be honest, I'm recording this podcast of thanks and gratitude because I manifested that I would reach over 1,000 downloads, but I honestly did not think I would reach that 1,000 downloads goal within the first 2 months of recording, and by only my 8th session. I thought it would take over 6 months to reach that goal, but the power of manifestation is real. I didn't even think about the fact that I could reach listeners outside of the United States. As of today, because of you all caring, sharing, and listening, I have reached over 1,500 downloads in 2 months. That means at least 1,500 beautiful humans are with us on this journey of elevating our minds, improving our health, and creating wealth. We are all champions working towards just being great humans. Let's reflect on how we have grown in our practice and growth together. As avid readers, our knowledge has increased by reading the book recommendations in each session. The links to the authors and the books are listed in every podcast notes section. Quick recaps of the last 8 sessions. Session 1, healing from trust issues. We now practice trusting ourselves and trusting others in all relationships, including starting and operating a business, romantic relationships, work relationships, and family relationships. We know that building trusting relationships with the right people will help us in all aspects of our lives. Session 2, healing from unhealthy boundaries. We are practicing setting the respectful boundaries with those we love to have peace in our lives, understanding that it's often those close to us violating our boundaries and causing mental and emotional stress. But once we receive the respect we deserve from setting our boundaries, after the pain comes peace. Session 3, healing from negative generational cycles. We learned how harmful repeating negative family cycles of abuse, addiction, poverty, and lack of education. We are practicing speaking life into our children and promising our unborn children that we won't bring them into a life of trauma. We are now cycle breakers. Session 4, creating a healthy relationship with money. We set a realistic budget with our current salary and income. We set savings goals. We are prepared to invest our money and create generational wealth for our future. We are monitoring our wasteful spending. We are practicing financial freedom for family. There is an attached budget worksheet in those podcast notes. Session 5, creating healthy eating and workout habits. We learned the positive aspects of forming new healthy habits. With that, we have a wake-up workout routine and a wake-up workout habit. We are focused on our health and changing our eating habits by choosing healthier options. Not focused on our bad habits, only focusing on our new healthy habits, which will make the bad habits disappear. Session 6, 5 values of healthy, loving relationships. The most downloaded episode. We discussed understanding our values surrounding FIPES, the acronym for financial, intellectual, physical, emotional, and spiritual values in relationships, and building healthy romantic or personal relationships around our life values. Understanding that working on self and loving on self is the ultimate goal in finding genuine love, happiness, and a healthy, loving relationship. Session 7, reshape your consumption, uplift your life. We are what we consume. The food we eat, the television we watch, music we listen to, and friendships we choose. Our energy is determined by our consumption. We have been practicing consuming and surrounding ourselves with people and things that uplift, inspire, and motivate our energy for success. Session 8, self-compassion. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody deserves grace. We often give compassion and forgiveness to others and seldom give compassion and forgiveness to ourselves. We ruminate and torture ourselves over past mistakes. We hold detrimental secrets due to shame and embarrassment, but we are now practicing giving ourselves grace, confessing secrets, removing shame and guilt from our conscience, and understanding that we are all flawed and deserving of grace. Once again, if you are new to being a Mind Elevation Health and Wealth Champion, welcome. We are so excited to be on this life journey with you as growing, loving humans. To all the dedicated champions, keep shining. I love receiving your DMs on Instagram at Shy the Healer, expressing how you are actively aware and embracing life changes pertaining to your self-love, health, and wealth. I apologize for responding late sometimes, but I limit my app and phone usage due to making sure that I'm consuming what's important to me and what's valuable to me, but I do respond to all messages. Thank you for the 5-star ratings and the Apple Podcast reviews. When I read the reviews, it keeps me recording every self-care Sunday. To my family and close friends, those long text messages with words of affirmation and encouragement, because y'all love me and always cater to my love language. The encouragement for me to keep recording, the conversations by phone, sharing the joys and newfound peace from our personal elevation and growth. I have been filled with so much confirmation and gratitude for the love and the support from my family and from my very close friends. My inner circle is amazing. Love is my religion and God is love. He heals. It is with His love and healing that I'm called to heal others. They say, hurt people, but healed people heal people. When you share and support this podcast, you are sharing the gift of healing with people you love. I'm so excited and working hard preparing for the month of February. Our first Black History Month episode will be about understanding colorism in Black culture and colorism in all cultures. When we are real together, we heal together. Follow me on Instagram at Shy the Healer, ShyTheHealer. Elevate your mind, be open to health and wealth. Trust the healing process. Sometimes healing hurts, but when completely healed, you become a stronger, wiser, and amazing human. That was heavy. Let's relax and breathe. Breathe in love. Breathe out love. Breathe in peace. Breathe out peace. Breathe in love. Share love. Now, share this podcast to help someone you love. I enjoy interacting with my listeners. Click the support link in the podcast notes to donate and support. See you next Self-Care Sunday.